Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have a special guest, AJ Guiar. He sells real estate in North Dallas, Texas. And AJ had an amazing experience with an expired listing 10 days ago. Was just the easiest listing he ever took, and it's $1.2 million. And it's well priced. And even when I heard the story, I'm like, okay, wait, tell me, how did this happen? So, AJ, I want you to go ahead and tell the audience, like, okay, so you call expireds every day?
Yes, so I do call expired every morning and then I call the FISBOs. So this particular morning when I was calling the expired, this guy was second on my list. The first never answered, and this was around like 8:03 when I called this guy and he picked up the phone and I was like, ring ring, and the guy goes like, hey, and I was like, I'm looking for George. Um, is this George? And he said, yes, this is him. And I was like, hey, I'm AJ. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm calling because I saw your house got expired, and I'm calling because I'm confident that I can sell your house, and I would like to meet with you just for 20 minutes to show you exactly what I do differently to get houses sold in today's market. And would 3 o'clock work for you today, or would 4 be better? And the guy was like, come over. So I was like,
Like,
what?
come over,
Come
like just like
over.
that. Because when you said that to
Right.
me, like, wait a minute, okay, and then what did you do?
So I was like baffled, and I was like, Man, I paused a little bit and I was like, okay, so when should I come? Should I come at 3 or should I come at 4? And he was like, it's around 8, so how about like come at 9? I was like, man, that's 9 in an hour. I won't be ready and I won't be able to get there, and I still need to make my calls. So I was like, I won't be able to do it at 9, but if you are fine, I can make it 11 or 12 at the earliest. And he was like, yes, at the earliest is fine. So we decided for 11. And I was like, okay, I'm pencil you down for 11 and I'll see you then. He was like, okay, cool. Hang up. That's it.
Hold on, AJ. So you didn't pre-qualify.
No, I didn't. And I'll tell you why, Jackie. Is
Yeah,
because, when I was talking with him,
yeah.
I realized this guy was like some different kind of personality. So if I'll start go in that route to pre-qualify, because there was no objections at all, no objections at all, and that has never happened with me. So I was like, if I'll go, if I'll go different route, he probably might be like, hey, you are taking too much of my time. I told you I don't have time. So
Oh, he
that
did. Okay, so he did say that to you. So you
yes.
agreed on 11. Tell what else transpired on that call. For example, I don't have time or anything else. What
Well,
did
so yes, what he says is like, yeah, I'm kind of busy this morning and I'll be out for work. So yeah, make it possible to be here as soon as possible. And I was like, he seems really busy. And it was like $1.2 million kind of listing. So I can only assume people will be really busy, that kind of people. And
yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't want to go that route. And we just hang up. So I was
Okay.
like,
So
okay,
you
I'll
said,
be
okay,
calling.
I'll see you at 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
And so did you even like question yourself? You hang up on this call. I mean, I'd be baffled too, like you said.
same thing,
Um,
same thing.
so then what happened? You
So I had to go again and hear to my recording. I saw that this call just lasted for 1 minute and 10 seconds. 1 minute and seconds. And I was like, so amazing. But I was not convinced to myself, like, is it a real guy I was talking to? Is it some different person, or what's going on here? Like, I mean, who is like not throwing you objections? Who is like, just come over? And this is
uh-huh.
recent expired. It wasn't like expired, but recent expired. So I was like, let me be just prepared for this. Let me just go over and listen to the frequency and everything in the voice. Is he the right guy to meet, or should I change my mind, or what should I do there? So I go back and listen to
Too
that
good to be true.
conversation.
I gotta find something wrong with this.
I know
Oh,
exactly. And my wife, when I told her, like, yeah, I got an appointment at 11, and she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, and it's like $1 million property. And she was like, no way. And, she started me asking the questions about what happened. And I just told her, like, he just told me to come over. And she was so doubtful. She was like, are you even convinced to go there? Like, you better carry your weapon with you. And I was like, man, I understand where you're coming from, but let me just go and listen to the conversation and I'll decide what to do. And when I was listening to the conversation, I was not having doubt that the guy is the right person and the right owner of the house, you know. So I was like, let me just take my chance and let me just go over. So I just did that, and here I am, like, won the listing.
Okay, so when you get there, what happened? I even I asked you about this, but I want
Right,
to tell the
right.
viewer. So you show up, and was there somebody else there, owner?
Yes, so entire family was there, wife, and you know, he had 3 kids, but one was at home, like other two might be at school. So wife, a kid, and a grandkid. They were there, like young couple, but they still had a grandkid under
Okay.
40. And you know, when I was there at the door, he was so welcoming, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm loving this guy," you know. So he just welcomed me inside, and I was looking at the interior and everything, and he started talking about what kind of house it is and what kind of interior is it. He was like, "My interior is done by the HGTV." I was like, "Amazing! Wow, that's impressive." You know, the entire furniture and interior is done by HGTV. He
Uh-huh.
started talking, 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 and I was just listening. And I was at a point where I was finding to start a conversation in a little bit different direction to take over the listing.
Mhm.
So, you know, I was still listening to him, and I was still trying to understand like what he wants to do here. Like, is he just asking me to look around the house, and if I have a buyer, bring it, you know, that kind of situation?
You're
Or
still in doubt, like, this is not
yes,
happening. Oh,
absolutely. Or is he still, you know, is he really willing to put the house back on the market with me? So I was like, you know, I started a conversation in a different tone and different question. Like, I was like, Mr. Seller, so I just wanted to understand, like, your house is canceled, so you don't have any agreement with the previous agent. Am I right or what? And he said, like, yeah, we don't have any agreement with no agents right now. So I was like, okay, cool. That gave me relief. So I can like jump in and I can take the listing because I didn't want it to jump on a listing where the listing
right.
agreement is in place.
Exactly. And
And
you
then,
say that, sorry to
yeah,
he had been listed for 1.7
oh my goodness.
million?
So the listing was on the market for 9 months. The
Uh-huh.
listing was previously listed for 1.7
Wow.
for 98 days. Then it got listed with another agent for 1.49, which got reduced to 1.1, and it was on the market for 171 days. So in all, if you count, it's near to 9 months. And I was like, oh my goodness, just by looking at the property, I can tell that this house is worth more than what it was priced for 1.1. On top of that, he had so much addition into the house, like an extra kitchen was there, but they still built an extra kitchen.
Wow.
So there was that. On the top floor, they had a private kind of arrangement for the boy because his little guy is into acting and everything. So they built out a soundproof kind of studio for him.
Wow.
And this is all on the addition of the whatever the house is. On top of that, they had a shed for the car because guys in the sports car business. So it is a shed where you can park like 5 cars and work on that. In the shed, they have office, they have bathroom, they have actually 2 offices in the shed.
Wow.
And behind that, they have a mobile house with 3 large room and 2 jacuzzi bathroom.
Wow.
So I
Sounds
was like,
amazing.
yeah, what happened here? Like, why they were not able to sell this kind of property?
Right.
And this is not in even a neighborhood where houses won't sell. This is in a good kind of neighborhood.
Yes.
So I was like, whatever. I'm not thinking about like what happened there. I'm just thinking about to get the listing and sell it. That's it.
And you feel like at 1.2 it's well priced. And
Yes.
AJ, and you mentioned to me, so I want the viewers to hear this too. You told me that they're motivated to sell. I don't know where they're moving or whatever, but he definitely wants to sell. What did he
Yes.
tell you about that?
So I'll tell you this way is Jackie, like when we were going around the house, he also showed me the architecture design which he was putting into, you know, into the line. He was discussing with the wife that we're gonna put a big swimming pool and we're gonna extend the gym and everything. He was putting another $2,500. He showed me the design and everything. I was like, man, you don't need to do that. Are you not selling the house? That's where the conversation started. And when I was like asking that question, he was like, yeah, if we can sell it, like, then I'll be moving out, you know. And I was like, okay, so where are you guys moving? And he was like, I'll go to Miami. I was like, okay, cool. So are you like planning to move there and discussing about any properties you want to buy there? And guys started laughing. He was like, man, sorry to interrupt, but I have properties all around the country. So I don't need to look into the properties. Like if I decide to go anywhere, I have my property ready. I was like,
Yeah.
this is
So,
different.
AJ, are you also like you're hearing all of this and it just keeps getting better and better? You're like, oh, this is
Yes,
already sounded too good to be true. Now it's like, yeah, you told me this, right? So
yes,
anyway, you didn't really have to do much of a presentation. You knew it's well.
negative, negative. It was nothing like I was doing any kind of presentation. So I was just asking the questions like what their plan is, and he was discussing and revealing everything. So I was taking it from there and I was converting into a listing kind of agreement. So when I was like, okay, so let's just go in and sign the documents, like I'm confident. I told you over the phone that I'm confident that I can sell your house and I'm the right agent for you guys. So what you guys are waiting for? And then he was like, yeah, we still need to sell the house. That's true. And then he was like, yeah, my previous agents did this and that and everything. So I had to tell something about myself as well. I was
Yes.
like, okay, and here is I understand what your agents did and what they didn't do. But here's the thing, did they sold the house or were they able to bring any buyers to you guys? And he was like, no. And I was like, that's what I'm here for. I'm gonna sell this house. I'm here to bring some buyers for you guys. So there is no much discussion to do. Let's just go around and just sign the documents. So I was trying to understand his mentality. He was a kind of quick person. Like if I need to do a decision, make a decision, quick. Don't ask me question. Don't go with. And I was like, okay, I'll just go and sign the listing. So we went inside. He
Yeah.
told the wife, and wife was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, cool, then let's go ahead and sign the agreement. And all the time when we were talking, the lady was not outside her bed. She was entire time in her bed working on her laptop. She never even moved from there. I just gave them the documents to sign and initial and they did it. That's it.
Amazing, amazing. And you told me you even like check, is this the real owner? I mean, the whole time, but
Oh
it
my,
is. I mean, there's
yes,
no
I
question
did.
that the whole thing is legit. The property is well priced. AJ, I mean, you told me when I heard the story, because it's just amazing that you think you got lucky. Yeah.
Well, in a way, I thought that, but then again, I was thinking when I talked with you and you were like, okay, it's a process. So I was also thinking about it. Yeah, that's true. It's a process because when I was listening to my recording again and again, I was tapping on my back. I was like, man, you did some good job. It's not just about like saying something, but saying it with some motivation and confidence that will make them agree to sell the house with
Yeah. So you delivered the line. It's one line in the
you.
expired.
Yes,
Yeah, and what I think it's fascinating, and I'm sure, I don't know, did you ever use any other scripts before you joined?
negative. I never. I'll be honest, Jackie. Like, I joined you like 5 months ago,
Yeah.
and at that, don't know if you remember or not, but I was with a motivation in your course is like, Jackie, I'll be on your channel one day, and here I am. I don't know if you remember that, but I told you that, and I was like, working on that part. I wasn't working on anything else, but I was working on that part. If I have told a guru of mine, that's what I assume you to be for me. I'm not just assuming you to be a coach, but I assume like if I'm telling my guru that I'll be there, I should be there.
I'll file. Something's gonna happen, and I'll get there. Not only that, was it last month or a couple of months ago? You were like top realtor. Talk about
Oh
that
my,
a little bit, because
oh
I
yes,
saw.
oh
Yeah,
yes. So magic started happening right after we conversed, we called. I'll tell you from day one, the first time when we talked and I agreed like, hey, Jackie, I just want to be in your course. The very same day I got a listing. And
wow,
this listing was from one of my Facebook posts or something. And the guy called and I went there and we sold the house in 4 days above price in this market. And
amazing,
that listing was listed for 460. We sold it overpriced for 501 in 4 days. And
amazing.
I was like, man, this is so magical. Like it's all about your mindset. Like you need to decide which route you need to go. And that was the day when I decided that I just want to go the route of listing, nothing else. So, and it was a kind of stamp on addition of taking the listing because that was the day when I was talking with you. The very same evening, I'm getting a call for a listing and
Wow,
I'm going there and taking listings. I was like, is it something which is which is happening. Again, the same thing what happened with 1.2 million listing was in my mind when I went for the first listing in that time. And yes, as we were discussing about like what happened in last few months, I sold like around like 10 homes in last few months. Okay, I was still working with buyers during that time, but
Yes.
those were the buyers I was committed for then. I just needed to get them out of my way. I was like, I cannot like just leave them like by their way. So I'll just work with them, I'll take them off, and I'll start working on the listings more and more.
Amazing.
So
AJ, so there are two things I want to ask you. You said you listened to the recording of that call was 1 minute and 10 seconds,
oh
and
my goodness,
you
yes.
realized that you delivered that script in a very powerful, confident way, which is key. Because
Mm.
sometimes people say, "Well, I used your script, it didn't work," and it's because they're saying instead of saying "I am confident," they're saying "I'm confident," and people are like, "That's weird." So obviously, how you delivered is key. That is
Yes.
the confidence that you exude. And then
Hmm.
you said something about mindset that is just, the mindset, and you made a decision. Can you speak a little bit about that? Because I'm always saying mindset is not 90% of success or 99, it's 100%. If you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in what you're doing, it's gonna be really tough for you to have success. So speak about mindset and what you can offer the viewers that will help them.
Well, I'll start from here. Is like, I wasn't born and raised in this country, first of all. I just moved to this country like 10 years ago. And
Mm,
then I was doing some odd jobs, and then I joined the military, and then I came out of military and started real estate because I'm from the real estate background back in my country. I already have this knowledge since 3 generations. But it is so different in US, right? It is not like same everywhere. It is so different everywhere. So when I joined real estate, I didn't had any kind of experience or background in real estate in here,
right.
or I didn't had any kind of network because who do I know? I did know not no one. I just got out of the army and I moved to Texas. So that was all, and I didn't had no one around me. So when that happened, I was like, what should I do, and how should I get starting converting myself? So long story short, 2021, when I joined the real estate, I wasn't doing that well, but I was still doing better than new agents. I was still making money from showings, and I was still, I still got a listing in first 22 days. Like my next door neighbor was selling the house. So I was just approaching him and I was trying to sell myself, and it worked. So I got the listing in 22 days. I got my first client on day one, a buyer's client, because I was in the background, I was also preparing a client a
Mm,
year before I entered into real estate because only guy I knew was one of my veteran friend in Texas, and I knew that he didn't have a house. So when I got my license on a Wednesday, I called him on a Thursday, took him to a casino because I know like he likes to gamble. And on our way back and forth, we talked about real estate, and he was sold. And on Friday, we went out to see, not on Friday because I still didn't have the Supra key. So I had to call these people to the Supra people. I had to beg them that I'm brand new. Please give me the access to Supra key. And somehow the guy was gentle to give me the Supra key without like taking any courses or anything. So on a Saturday we went for looking into the house, and Sunday we were under agreement. We were under contract. So that was giving me so much motivation. I was like, I can crack it. I can deal. So first year was kind of experience. The second year I kept, barely kept. And third year, after a certain time, when I joined you, Jackie, just within like 2 months or so, I started realizing that I'm selling more real estate than I was selling before. And it was because of the mindset, the conversation of mindset. Every day I was listening to you. First, I started to listen you over the YouTube, and I was like, man, this lady is amazing. Whatever she is saying is true. So let me just follow that particular stuff and let me just do accordingly.
mm,
And I don't know where to start from. So, one particular day I send you a email or message or something, and we had a phone call from you. I had a phone call from you, and we started talking, and I was like, I need to join you. That's it. Once I start,
I don't remember this initial conversation, how that happened, because I don't usually like just call people random. I don't know how that happened, but
so
it's
I
so
think that was the day when you called me, you
yeah.
said that this is I'm calling you. I mean, when you called me, it showed me your name on my phone, and I was like, I don't have her number, but I'm still looking at her name. Whatever, I'll just pick it up. I I started talking with you, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm calling you because there is other people who are not being able to call you today
Okay,
because
so
your team was
you
not."
had
So
something scheduled, yeah, and there must have been an issue, and I was the one that talked to you. Got it. Yeah.
yes, so that thing particularly happened. I was like, "What? What? I'm talking with you." So that's amazing. And then my mindset has never changed from then. It has
Mhm.
started building strong and strong, and just in like 5 months of time, I sold more real estate than I sold in like 2 years. I sold like 10
Um,
properties in that 5 months, you
So
know?
amazing. That is so exciting. What are you doing on a daily basis, AJ, to stay positive, to build your mindset? What is it that you're doing? Because you can't stop learning and growing. I'm always talking about that. So tell 'em,
Absolutely.
what do you do?
I'll start from here. It's like, I mean, I love books. I'm like a book eater kind of person. So I love books, So I read books, I listen them, and I also go on the sales X training. Whenever I'm like feeling like I'm not in that right mindset, I'll be listening to your mindset classes or courses. And I'll also listen to the role plays again and again and again and again. Like whatever role play I think is the best suiting to me, I'll be listening that role play for 50 times. So that is what is getting into my head. Like whenever I'm talking with someone, I should be doing exactly what is on the role play. I
Mm-hmm.
should be acting like that way. It should be natural. It shouldn't be like, I'm reading from the script, or I'm mumbling on something, or no, it should be natural. So
Yeah.
I'm working on those particular parts.
Yes, and
And
let me just mention too that I don't know if you're on 100% of them, but I always see you on the live calls that I do twice a week. You
yes,
always
I mean, I
show
try
up.
my best. Yes,
Yeah,
I try my best to be there. Only times I'm not there will be the time when there will be certain kind of events. Like last time it was a David Goggins event going in Dallas, I told you about. So that might be the only time.
yeah,
And that was the day I was also skipping my award function. I just wanted to be there. I was like, do hell with everything, I just need to be here. So only times when I'll be not coming to your live trainings will be if I am busy with life in a positive way or with the business.
yeah. So AJ, why do you show up to the live calls? What do you get out of being on these live calls?
Lots of motivation.
Mm.
Lots of motivation. I'll be honest with you, because I'm not here just to change my business, but I'm here just, I mean, to change my life itself. So I'm getting a lot of motivation just by listening to you, just by having other people asking you question and you delivering it in the way you are delivering it. I'm getting a lot of motivation. So I
That
don't want to miss that part. I don't want to miss any of the conversation which is live with you.
you're so it's so exciting to hear all of this. It really is, because I think the biggest issue for a lot of real estate agents, new ones, or even if they've been in real estate for a while, is just taking action. Even some of my clients, the agents that are watching this on YouTube, that okay, even if you just do what you hear me talk about on the YouTube videos, you're going to have some success. And then sometimes agents join my training, but they're just in their head thinking about it. They're not applying, they're not taking action. And from everything you said, that's what I take away, and I that's what I want the viewers to take away too. Because just
Absolutely.
learning, you can't be a professional student, right? It's great to learn, but you got to apply to
Right.
actually receive the rewards. AJ, this is amazing. I'm so excited for you. I cannot even wait. Like, you've had the best 5 months, and what's to come. So exciting. What are some final words of wisdom that you have for an agent that is watching this video and they want to be able to do what you're doing? What advice? What would you tell them to do?
I'll tell them this thing is like decide your path first thing, what route you want to go. Because there are agents who will be like, new when I was new and I was just showing people the houses and buyers and everything. I was loving it for a while. It was just for a while because I didn't know this industry well. And I was like, okay, this is how the business runs. But once I started getting stuck with that particular buyers for like months and months, my mind got diverted towards like what I'm doing. Like, should I work with buyers at all, or should I be working in other direction? So, like select your path. First thing is I choose my path. I just want to be a listing agent. And I have started telling all my office members, like there are more than 200 people in my office, all of them since last 3, 4 months that I'm a listing agent. Everybody who meets me, I will tell them I'm a listing agent. Even the people around me who are in my mastermind, like we are a team of like 9 people in the mastermind group, all top agents, they all will be taunting me. So you're a listing agent. I was like, yes, whatever you say, I'm a listing agent. So thanks for telling me that, because now you are reminding me what I am. So select your path first thing. And whenever you are selecting your path and you start working towards that, you start attracting more and more business. You
Mm,
will attract the business. Literally, you will be a magnet where you will be attracting the business. That's what has started happening with me. I'm not like wasting my time or my clients' time. I'm just doing the deals. That's it. Like, how would it be possible to close 10 deals like in 5 months without like attracting them and without wasting their time?
yeah. Well, and certainly this $1.2 million listing, you must have attracted it because obviously you're doing
Oh
the
my God.
work.
I'll
And
be I'll be honest. I mean, I'm all like you. 100% mindset.
yeah,
Even if I'm proving something with my action or anything, if I don't have that mindset and motivation, it's of no use. Because being frank, in these 5 months, I have been calling since 4. I have been calling since 4, and I wasn't consistent, but I was still calling. There
yeah,
were people who were not answering the call. There were people sometimes who will be answering the calls, but not much practice for the role play because they'll be hanging up, you
right,
know.
right.
And I've been on like 2 other appointments before, and I was just like sitting and waiting for the right one, but wasn't just waiting in a way like waiting. I was proving it my action. I was
Yeah.
taking the every day.
That I was thinking about that when we're talking about attracting, because you don't just like have the mindset and sit there and do nothing. You got to take action,
And
otherwise,
I'll tell
nothing's gonna
you,
happen.
is that on my dream board, I have 50 sold on my dream board, and I'll share on the Expresso now. I haven't, I'm sorry, but I'll share it. I was looking on that particular dream board the night before. I was staring at that dream board for like 15 minutes,
Wow.
and magic happened in the morning.
Yes.
So if you like attract something, that's gonna come towards your way.
Yeah. Magic happened, but you actually dialed the phone at 8 a.m. You
Absolutely
started
nothing
calling.
without, no, nothing without the action. So I'll
Exactly.
be still doing what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
I'll be having my mindset toward that's like, whenever I call them, just like you say, is whenever you call them, visualize everything. Visualize like they are your next client. Visualize they are your next listing, and not just listing, they are your next listing sold. So that's what I'm visualizing every time I'm calling them.
Yeah, amazing. Incredible story, AJ. Again, thank you so much for taking the time. This is very exciting to me. I can't wait what's going to continue to happen and all the success you're going to have, and I look forward to hearing all about it. And
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. I know all of this great stuff you shared is going to help a lot of agents.
And
So,
Jackie, this is our live, so I'll be promising you another thing, just like I promised you previously that I'll be here. I
yes.
promise you that I'll be one of the top agents in my marketplace again this
Woo.
year. So I will be
Whoa.
not like it's like around like 250 kind of people in there. So I
I
promise.
you already won top realtor was the last month. I love the
That
commitment
was for
that you
2020.
have.
Yes, 2023. I was one of the top producers,
Yes,
and in month of November, as you're always saying, guys, November is like one of the main months. Don't skip it. I was
right.
about to take a vacation for a month. Just like you, I go back to my country and I take vacation for a month.
Yes.
So I was about to do that, and I also have my business over there, so I also go and check. But I decided not to, and I canceled my ticket and everything. And that was the month where I was announced the top producer, the number one producer of my market center.
Wow, look at that. Incredible. And you know what? The commitment you just made, say it again. I want to hear it again because I'm going to remember. You're going to be the
One of the top most agent in my marketplace this year
in your
again.
marketplace. I am looking forward to that. I know 100% you're going to make it happen. I have zero doubt in my mind. I know with the commitment and the determination you have, it's going to happen. AJ, super excited for all of your success. Thank you for sharing this amazing story, and I will see you soon. Thanks again.
Thank you, Jackie.